Hello, my name is Dominik Muellerleile and I am representing the Department of Defense Dependent Schools, or DODDS, in the 2012 National Geographic Bee. I am 14 years old and am an 8th grader at the Wiesbaden Middle School in Wiesbaden, Germany. Wiesbaden is the capital city of the German state of Hesse and has a population of about 280,000. But it doesn't seem that small because the metropolitan area that also includes Frankfurt, Mainz and Darmstadt has a population of about 5.8 million people. Wiesbaden is one of the oldest spa towns in Europe. Its name means meadow bath in German, and this refers to its hot springs, which made the area attractive dating back to the Neolithic era, as there is evidence of settlement of the area back as far as 8,000 years. Throughout the Middle Ages, the Reformation, and into the modern era, Wiesbaden experienced the effects of many wars and changes of rulers and suffered low points, like 1648, when the devastation of the 30 Years' War is said to have left only 40 residents remaining. But it also experienced times of prosperity, like after the Napoleonic Wars, when it was the capital of the Duchy of Nassau and was a famous and stylish spa town. Most of the architectural highlights of Wiesbaden's historic center date from this period to the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries. It was such an impressive spa town that it was visited regularly by the German Kaiser Wilhelm II and was known as the unofficial summer residence of the Kaiser. And many nobles, artists, writers, composers, and wealthy persons visited and settled here. For example, a nearby street is Dostoyevsky Straße, which is named after the Russian author Fyodor Dostoevsky, who spent much time in Wiesbaden, reportedly much of it unsuccessfully gambling in the casino. Other famous writers and composers who spent time here are Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Richard Wagner, and Johannes Brahms. It is said that in those years there were more millionaires living in Wiesbaden than in any other city in Germany. During World War II, Wiesbaden was not as heavily damaged as many other German cities, and that may be one reason why it became the capital of the state of Hesse, since although nearby Frankfurt is larger, it was much more damaged during the war. If you were to travel to Wiesbaden, a good place to look at is the hot springs in downtown and the Biebrich Castle by the Rhine River. Just north of town is the Taunus mountain range, which is ideal for hiking. If I could trade places with any famous explorer or world leader, I might want to be the current leader of Japan because the country is still trying to rebuild after the tsunami of 2011. The first thing I'd do would be to improve safety features in nuclear power plants across the archipelago to make sure that nothing so disastrous could happen again. I would also want to work to find alternatives to nuclear fission plants and hope that energy sources like solar, wind, geothermal, and nuclear fusion can replace fossil fuels and nuclear fission in my lifetime. If someone gave me a free ticket to travel anywhere in the world, I would like to go to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, because I am a fan of skyscrapers and there are plenty of futuristic ones in Dubai, like the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. I also would like to see what a country like the UAE is doing to change its economy from being dependent just on exporting oil. I've been interested in geography and math since I was a little kid, and have learned most of what I know about world geography by looking at many maps and atlases. To smush all that information and knowledge into my brain, generally I scrutinize maps of different places whenever I can and try to remember the major cities, rivers, mountains, and other geographic features. I often like to play games with my sister remembering capital cities. After I learned most of them, I decided to move more into physical geography. One of my study strategies is being quizzed by my dad. If I were in charge of the Earth for an entire day, the first problem that I would tackle would be that people in poor and undeveloped countries do not have the same opportunities in life as those that are born in rich, developed countries. I don't want that all children have the same chances to get a good education and don't suffer from disease, famine, war, or enslavement. Hey, Nat Geo! Do you know what group of islands many people think are named after one kind of animal but are actually named after a different kind of animal? And what is that other animal? The answer: the Canary Islands are named not for birds but for dogs. Their name in Latin is Insula Canaria, which means island of the dogs. My favorite geography fact is that the Pacific Ocean is so huge that all of the continents could fit inside the area and still have space left over. When I grow up, I'd like to be either a meteorologist or an astronomer. After geography, meteorology and astronomy are my two other favorite subjects. These two subjects are very important for our future. Meteorology because the Earth needs to solve the problem of climate change, and astronomy because of all the scientific knowledge that it will give us.